Hello and welcome to our show for this week. And we're really excited because for the first time ever, we're joining a tour group and traveling by motor coach. Now I know what you're saying. Hey Dan, where are you going? Well, I'm glad you asked that question. I'll give you a hint. The Irish eyes are smiling on old Danny boy. That's right, we're in Ireland this week and the fun begins right here in Dublin. What a toe-tapping way to begin our Shades of Ireland tour. With lots of high notes, some fancy footwork, and broad smiles on the faces of our newfound fellow travelers, there was no question our motor coach tour across the Emerald Isle was going to be one grand prize. We didn't have far to travel on our first day, staying right in Dublin, which was a good thing because most of us were a little jet-lagged and needed our Irish wake-up call to be on time and on board. And what a great day it was to tour this city of 500,000 people and more than 1,000 years of history.
Okay, so Niall is just taking us on to O'Connell Street now. We are on O'Connell Street.
O'Connell Street was a spectacular street in the 18th century. You know, it was really wide, Georgian streets, fabulous architecture. And then in 1916, during Easter week, Irish rebels marched up the streets. The Irish rebels stormed into the General Post Office on O'Connell Street and the 1916 Rising began, which was a rebellion against British rule here in Ireland.
Shane Cregan was our very proud second-generation tour guide. He's proud of his heritage, proud of Irish history, and apparently very proud and protective of the Irish accent as well.
It was around this area here, around Fitzwilliam Square, that a guy called Tom Cruise really slaughtered the Irish accent. A film called Far and Away. A lot of that film was made around this area.
Shane says Tom has now been forgiven and the relationship sealed with a pint of Guinness. The English, on the other hand, have not been so easily forgiven, especially General Oliver Cromwell. That was something we learned when we visited the beautiful 800-year-old St. Patrick's Cathedral in the center of Dublin.
One of the British invaders in Ireland, he stabled a lot of his horses inside the cathedral.
Really?
This was kind of like an act of defiance. He was very anti the Anglican Church. So when he was here in Ireland, he actually stabled a lot of his horses inside the cathedral. And that actually kind of ruined some of the tiles and stuff in the cathedral as well.
Shane shared some other great historical places in Dublin. The Rotunda was one of the world's first maternity hospitals, opening right here in the mid-1700s, and the Rotunda is still operating today. Trinity College is world-renowned and has been educating students for more than 400 years, and many of the buildings the students learn in now are the same ones used as far back as the 1700s. And then there's the famous Molly Malone statue, the most photographed statue in all of Ireland. And trust me, that's impressive because there are a lot of statues in Ireland.
She was a street trader, but she sold something else at night time.
Now, for those of you asking, are there many good restaurants in Dublin? Well, let me just say, you can bank on it, especially at the Bank. This is one of Dublin's most popular restaurants, and the expensive decor of the old Bank blends beautifully with the decor of a fine restaurant. We stopped here for a bowl of chowder, but for lunch, we went old school. Really, really old school at the Brazen Head Pub.
It goes back to 1198 to 12th century. It's the oldest pub in Ireland. There's been a tavern or an inn here on this site since the 12th century.
That means this was already a favorite watering hole. At the same time, Genghis Khan was invading China, and everybody knew that the world was flat. For lunch, you have to go traditional in a place like this, and this stew was absolutely delicious and comfort food at its best. And for the big finish, what appears to be one of the great honors in Irish pubdom, letting the honored guest pour the perfect pint of Guinness. And with that, we gave 2 thumbs up on our first day in Ireland.